before Supriya comes in, Rizwan Merchant, Supriya, just one moment, because I have to bring in Rizwan Merchant. I'll bring in Rizwan Merchant.
Making a silly argument.
I'll bring in Rizwan Merchant. Mr. Merchant, really appreciate your time and thanks for your patience. You heard various sides. I want to understand this purely from the legal point of view. When you look at the series of investigation that is being done by either the ED particularly, because the Enforcement Directorate has the lowest conviction rate, although the CBI investigation has seen the final conclusion. What do you see in these investigations? Do you see a pattern, as the opposition says, is vendetta, or do you see this as law taking its course, particularly in this case of excise policy?
See, Marya, the law is very clear. The statute that we follow out here is that the moment there is an offence, there is an information which is revealing the commission of a cognizable offence, we have no choice but to register an offence and embark upon investigation. Supreme Court is very clear, you cannot conduct investigation unless until you don't have an FIR in place. So merely having a registration of an FIR is not something that should excite people and cause them to raise any grievances with regard to vendetta, etc., etc. As far as investigation is concerned, it is the prerogative of the Central Bureau of Investigation or maybe Enforcement Directorate, but immediately after arrest, if the accused is produced before the court, he gets the first available opportunity to rebut his case, he puts across the case, the court takes into consideration the remand application, and if a remand is granted, that means the justification of arrest has been endorsed and sanctioned by the court. The grant of police custody is the prerogative of the court. Custodial interrogation is an issue which is required to be decided by the court and not the department. The department has got a right to ask for custodial interrogation. You can oppose it, you can protest it, but the moment the court considers, after taking into consideration the case diary, which is required to be produced before the court and seeking justification of the material for custodial interrogation, it is the court's prerogative to allow it or disallow it. If it is allowed, you can't raise any grievances. You should cooperate with the investigation. If raids are being conducted, the raids are conducted not to belittle you, but to collect investigation material on the basis of which the final report is required to be put in. Now, as far as ED is concerned, you say that the rate of conviction of ED is very little. That is something which is rated back to when the investigations were being done by ED under Foreign Exchange Regulation Act. We yet have to undergo a lot of trials under Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Now, the moment a predicate offence is detected, the latest judgment of His Lordship Justice Khanwilkar, the moment a predicate offence is detected, that predicate offence is now considered as a scheduled offence under PMLA. And if the scheduled offence is committed, proceed of crime is generated, proceed of crime is identified and located, investigations under PMLA become a must. Under Section 54 of the PMLA, investigation into a scheduled offence, investigation into proceed of crime and money laundering is a coordinate effort which is required to be made both by CBI or police and Enforcement Directorate.
Okay.
So there cannot be any grievances. If an information is revealed that cognizable offence is there, you don't investigate, then the Supreme Court hauls you. If you investigate, then it becomes vendetta. This is not right. You should give a free hand to the investigating authorities. You go and oppose the issue before the court. Rather than bringing it to media and making grievances before the media, you approach the court, take necessary recourse to law which is available. But you cannot stall the investigation if the information received discloses the commission of a cognizable offence.
Okay, and as per this excise policy, and I'm sure you would have gone through it, and the FIR that has come out in the public domain, what do you see? I mean, how serious are the charges, and are you of the opinion that the CBI has enough evidence against him?
You see, the reading of the FIR makes it very clear it is not the handy job of one person which is being investigated. I believe there's a charge of conspiracy also. And the Supreme Court in R.S. Sharma's case has made it very clear that investigation into conspiracy will be in respect of issues before the commission of offence, during the commission of offence, and after the commission of the offence. Now, if this policy was withdrawn, why was it withdrawn? What were the issues behind the withdrawal of this policy? This would come within the framework of investigation, which becomes the right of the investigating officer. And if the investigating officer fails to investigate, he'll become answerable in the final report when it comes up for cognizance before the competent court.
All right.
So you have no choice. You have to investigate before, during, and after. It has got a very wide scope of investigation which the Supreme Court has carved out in the case of R.S. Sharma.
All right. Mr. Merchant, really appreciate that, for you to put this in context. Let me go back to the political guests on the panel. Jasmine, Shah, you particularly heard from what your other parties in opposition have to say. What Supriya said. You never stand with other parties when they raise questions of misuse of agencies. And now when you are facing the heat, you are leveling the charge. Why should you expect support from them? And those are the visuals coming in from Mr. Manish Sisodia's residence, where the CBI is finally perhaps leaving his residence after more than 12 hours of the raid. Please go ahead, Jasmine Shah.
Marya, we have repeatedly said that the way the CBI and ED are reading opposition parties and leaders one by one, it is very clear, not just to me and you, even a fourth grade kid can say that today this is nothing but vendetta politics. But sorry, we are not asking for Congress's sympathy. And, you look at their reaction to when Satyendra Jain was arrested, you look at their reaction today. They are repeating the kind of mantra that BJP is saying. So we are not asking, or we are not looking forward to any sympathy. We will cooperate with the justice system, and we know that just like the 150 cases earlier, we will be declared innocent by the courts of law, and that is the biggest stamp we want. But the larger point today, Marya, and this is the point I want to make, is that why are these raids happening now? Why was Satyendra Jain raided just a couple of months back? Why is Manish Sisodia being raided? Because of the growing curve of Aam Aadmi Party. Today, BJP has announced that the race of 2024 is only between Mr. Modi and Mr. Kejriwal. If there is one person that threatens the BJP juggernaut today across the India, it's not just about...
When did BJP announce that?
It's Gujarat, it's Himachal, it's Madhya Pradesh.
Shehzad, when has the BJP announced that?
Seeing that the only party that can work for the people, can give them real basic services rather than put money in the pockets of the rich.
You call my name, and my name is Shehzad.
That is the
There's
reason
only
they are
one Shehzad. Can I please answer?
Shehzad,
Marya,
when has the BJP raised it?
Let me educate Jasmine, who didn't know that cognizance has been taken against Satyendra Jain and there are 3 court orders against him. Let me educate him. The only competition Kejriwal is challenging is NOTA. He got less than 1% vote in the national elections. And in Uttar Pradesh, you lost deposit on 99% seats. In Uttarakhand, you lost deposit on 98% seats. You're a deposit job. Now, please don't interrupt, Marya. May I have the full right to respond? Thank you very much. Marya, also about this, this diatribe about vendetta, I'm very grateful that Rizwan Merchant put things in perspective. Let's assume that we are the most vindictive government ever in the history of mankind. Right? No court has said cage parrot for us or for any agency under us. But pray, tell me, Sanjay Raut still in jail. Court has remanded him. Nawab Malik still in jail. Court has remanded him. Court said he has links with Dawood Ibrahim. They defend him. Anil Deshmukh still in jail. Then we have in Delhi, Satyendra Jain, Kattar Imandar, according to Mr. Kejriwal, still in jail 2.5 months. If he's so Imandar, how come he's not got relief? Please tell me how come he's not got relief?
Jasmine, will you respond to that?
No, absolutely. You tell me, you have raided 150, you put 150 cases against our leaders over the last 7 years. Some of them have been thrown out by the courts in 1 year, some 1 month, some it takes 2 years. We know that the justice in India, the system runs slow, but it works for sure. Please don't start gleeing. Please don't start
Kejriwal knows he's Kattar Imandar, but judge doesn't know.
Shehzad, you wanted him to listen to you. Now you please listen to his statement. Yes.
Let me make my point, please.
Yeah.
I'm saying just because today you have complete dictatorial control over these agencies, you can stop them from investigating the fact that Bundelkhand Expressway, thousands of crores spent, caved in just a day after Prime Minister Modi inaugurated it. 10,000 crore is the scale of the liquor trade, illegal liquor trade that happens in Gujarat, which is a prohibition state. Anytime have you asked for CBI or ED to raid? No, you only unleash them on Arvind Kejriwal. You only unleash them on Aam Aadmi Party. But not in one of these cases. Aam Aadmi Party was not born yesterday. In 7 years, हमने 150 cases झेले हैं आपके. हम झेलेंगे, लेकिन हम रुकेंगे नहीं. अरविंद केजरीवाल रुकेगा नहीं.